Everyone, welcome to the Ask Bess Facebook Live video column here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time. I am Bess McCarty, coach for business and life. My specialty, my niche is network marketers. I'm a generic coach for network marketers, and I love to come and answer questions, respond to questions, respond to your needs. And welcome, Shmala. Good to see you. I am, well, who am I? Hello, welcome. Glad to see you. You're always the first one on. Amazing. You're amazing. So glad to see you. Shmala is from South Africa and a front row attendee of personal growth events and a beautiful, beautiful hearted spiritual person who puts what she knows about all of this personal growth into her life. You're welcome, Shmala. Thanks for being here. So, I am here to answer or to respond to questions about anything that you guys might have. You can ask here, you can ask in a private message so it's anonymous. You can ask for the next show. This is a video column where I'm here every Saturday and Sunday at noon Eastern Time. And the questions could be anything about network marketing, about business, about careers, about jobs. It could be about health, weight loss, relationships, communication, spiritual fulfillment, or any other questions that you have. What I'll do is I'll respond to you on these shows. And my message to you is you matter. I hear you. I'll respond. You're not alone. You're bigger than any problem that you face. And the solution is not far away, always. And I can help with a 4-step method that I call Real Conversations, which I'll teach during this show. So who am I? I am Bess McCarty, a body-mind therapist for over 30 years, a holistic health practitioner, counselor, and coach who has done a lot of personal growth work. Don't ever listen to somebody who has not done their work and is not where you want to be. So I bring this to network marketers, helped hundreds and hundreds of people have breakthroughs over the many years that I've been doing this, breakthroughs in their business, in their health, in their relationships, health, wealth, and love. That's the things that we want, isn't it? And in their spiritual fulfillment, of course. So this is my calling. This is what I love doing. My niche is that I am a generic coach for network marketers. And I have developed the system over 25 years ago called Real Conversations with Ourselves. It's a very simple 4-step self-help method, self-coach method. And I'm going to be sharing that with you after I go into the topic today. And then I'm going to be letting you know about a class that I have on Tuesday nights. Some of you are in that class already. And it's an incredible live reality show, live coaching every Tuesday night, available for whoever would like to be in it. So I'll explain all that in a few minutes. First, I want to get into the topic today, which is, the question has come up, how do I get over worry? Yes, I have negative thinking, but how do I overcome that? So this is what I've recently done just this past week, by coincidence, to help respond to this person. I've recently looked at my own negative thoughts. I consider myself a very positive person, enjoy life and all that, as you can probably tell. But I could find pockets where there's room for improvement, pockets where I can spot negativity in there, like I'm getting ready for a trip pretty soon. And welcome, Candy. Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. If you're watching the replay, by the way, I'd love if you type in replay, because I'd like to thank you for that, and also I'm curious to hear where you're watching from. So the topic today, how to get past worry. How do I get past worry? Well, it showed up for me recently. I'm preparing for a trip, so I'm getting out of my regular routine, my regular comfort zone. I have all of my health foods and raw foods and everything here and accessible. I have all my sources here, and even have help preparing the foods that I eat. Now I'm going on a trip, so I'm taking myself out of my usual environment, and I'm thinking, okay, what's that going to cost my health? Flying on the plane, EMFs, all this stuff. And I realized that, yes, I'll be getting outside my environment, but there's going to be terrific adventures to have, and that will be far worth any of the cost of preparation, all the details, the rental car or the rides or any of the other details, and where I'm going to buy my raw foods in San Diego and all this stuff. It's far worth all of the time and preparation that goes to plan. And if I had the attitude of a child, they anticipate adventure all the time. They know that unless they've had an exceptional childhood, they know that life is good, life is there for them, life has got their back, and life brings really, really cool things. That life is friendly, and there's some of it's hard, but the truth in my experience is that life only brings the things to me that I can benefit from spiritually. That's only good for me. Life does not let anything reach me that is not good for me in some way. And that's an incredible thing to remember, or to realize, isn't it? That nothing is just happen chance. We're not forgotten. There are no mistakes that happen in the divine plan of things. That everything that happens to me is for my spiritual good in the long run. Every single thing. That life just does not bring me anything that's not. And anything that I'm not ready to handle, any problem that I'm not ready to solve, and it never brings a problem that the solution isn't within my reach, within my grasp, within my effort, if I make that effort to go out and find it and look for it. So that is a very, very comforting thought to me, because sometimes the fear part of me will forget that and say, oh, but what if this? How will I ever be able to handle this? You know, what if this happens, or this is happening in the past? And that can be a scary thing to think of, to let our fear get in the way of the anticipation of an adventure. But here's the truth now that I've realized, that it isn't, I'm not really afraid of what will happen to me if I trust that it will always be for my good, it will always be something that I can handle, and that the solution or help or support is always within reach. If I really know that, then I'm never afraid of what will happen to me. I'm afraid of how I will meet that challenge or that experience. I'm afraid of myself. I'm afraid of forgetting what I just said, that life is good, life is friendly, life only brings me what is for my good, ultimately, and it only brings me things I'm ready to grow from, and that it always has the help and support to take my own steps and to grow, to be creative and solve that problem, that it always has all of that within reach. That is a very, very powerful realization. My fear is really not of life, it's of myself. It's of me forgetting. It's of me fearing. I've heard that before, that the only thing to fear is fear itself, but now I understand that saying. I understand that I am the one I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of my own forgetting, of my own distrusting, of my own fear. I'm afraid of how I will meet that experience. Will it be a wonderful adventure, or will it be a painful one? It's said that pain, the only pain is resisting the flow of life. The only pain is resisting life, or going into fear. That is where pain is, not anything outside of that. I had this experience one time. I was running on the beach in San Diego, having a great time, summer day, running barefoot on the beach and all this stuff. I stepped on a stingray really hard, and it shot its stinger onto the top of my foot. And it was really, really deep. A lot of the poison went in there. I still had like a half mile to run to get back to my car. And when I got there, I went to the emergency room, and they put it in hot water to neutralize the poison and decrease the pain, because I was in a lot of pain. And they checked it and make sure there was nothing left in there and all that. So they sent me home. Welcome, Nancy. Glad to see you. They sent me home. And the next morning, I was still in a lot of pain. And I was laying there in bed, mad at myself, because I had massage appointments to do, and now I can't even, stand on my foot. I had a lot of things going in my life. Being an active person, I had a lot going on, and I could not afford, I did not want, the last thing I wanted was to be slowed down or stopped by staying in bed. I was mad at myself. Why didn't I see that stingray? Why did I let this happen to myself? I'm mad that it happened, mad at life, mad at me. So I'm being mad, and I'm in a lot of pain on top of all that, right? So that's pain. That's resisting the flow of life on all those fronts. So I lay there in pain, and I say, wait a minute, Bess, you remember what to do about pain? You've had this experience before. or you can neutralize pain by going into it like a one-pointed meditation. Instead of resisting it, you embrace it. And I went into the pain like I was meditating on the pain and becoming the pain, and all of a sudden it dropped like 90%. The pain, most of the pain left. I said, whoa, that really is true. The only pain is resisting the flow of life. So ever after that, I was out of the pain, and I found ways to make everything happen. But that's my experience about getting past worry or fear or pain. It was very powerful. I saw Richard Brooke, a friend, posted something on Facebook today. He said, joy is a choice. Choose it or lose it. Joy is a story that you choose. And he said, make joy your choice over sadness, resignation, envy, resentment, or worry. So I thought, okay, I have to share this today. And if we want to change, here's some more tips. Write in a journal the good things that happen to you all the time. Like, okay, I had the flat tire, but then somebody stopped right then to help me change it. Or I had to be towed to a service station. As a result, I met this person who needed to learn this thing from me or share this story with me. Cool things happen, right, in the midst of what it looks like a misfortune. Or I was late for work because something unavoidable happened, but then I passed an accident that I would have been right in the middle if I would have been able to leave on time for work. These cool things that I call miracles, the cool things in life that show me that there is something going on out there, something in the divine order, the divine dance of life, the divine plan, that I am dancing as part of it. And it moves me in all of life into just the right positions and connections and moments, and you meet somebody. One time I was walking my dog Charlie, and we were walking in one direction. I'll say we were walking east, and someone else was walking north, and I became aware, this was a lady and two children, and I was aware that we were going to meet exactly at the corner of that block. Not a little before, not a little after, but the pace and the direction we were meeting, we were going to meet exactly at that corner. I thought, that's interesting. I wonder what this is going to be about. You know, what are the chances she wasn't just a little ahead of me or a little behind me or vice versa or something like that? We were going to meet exactly there. And she met me and she said, I recognize you. You know, I've been wanting to call you. So we had a talk right there, and we became good friends and did some personal growth work together. And this happened another time. I was walking my dog, and this lady pulls up and says, I've been trying to reach you. I didn't have your phone number. He just happened to walk by right where she was parked with her car. And we also did some personal growth work together. These things, I call them little miracles, but they happen all the time. These little synchronicities in the dance of life, that if we go with the flow and if we notice that they happen, I feel, in the hands of something much, much bigger than me. And then I relax and I don't worry. Now, I forget this all the time, so I've actually created a journal where I write these things down, these cool things that happen. And whenever I start feeling myself worrying or fearing life, a what if, then I open this up and I read and I remember how life loves me, has taken care of me, has directed me, has always brought a spiritual benefit to every single thing that it's led me through, has always helped me to grow spiritually in some way. And I write that down too. How have I grown from this thing? If you worry about your future, take a look back at your past and write down every tragedy or trauma that's happened, and then write what spiritual benefit you got from that thing. I think this will help go forward, and whenever you feel in worry or fear, take a look at what you've journaled and what you've written to help you remember about this big divine plan of life. So, hello Kelly, welcome, how are you? And welcome Carol, talking about spirituality and essentially talking about gratitude. That when we keep our focus on the gratitude and on what I call the miracles of life, how life is there for us, it's always there for us, it always knows what we need, it always provides what we need, even if it's through a rocky path. So I say, okay, I would like a good relationship in my life, I would like a good spiritual marriage in my life. And life says to me, okay, Bess, we got some work to do with you in the meantime. You're going to go through this or that, or this rocky relationship or that rocky relationship to teach you things that you're going to need to get to that good relationship that you want, because there's polishing that you need. So it leads me through these things. Doesn't mean it's not hearing me. It means it has heard me, and it's leading me through these things. So life is always a gift, whether we can see it now or whether we see it later in the big overview of things. Thank you all for the likes and loves. If you have ever worried, please type yes, because I want you to know and want everybody else to know that we are not alone. I still have that temptation for fear or worry come up, and this is how I've been working with it. We're all human, we're all working on this together. But please type in yes so that I know. And if you have any tips of how you overcome worry or little fears or big fears that pop up, I'd love for you to type that in, because other people will be watching the replay. And if you're watching the replay, please type that in. Thank you. I thank you for that. And we will keep the discussion going. People do read the comments under videos, so if you have tips there or a favorite takeaway that you got from today, please type that in too. And if you have a question for next time, for today, type that in. Or if you have a question for tomorrow, please type that in. Because I'm here every Saturday and Sunday, 12 a.m. Eastern Time for the Ask Bess video column. It's like an Ann Landers, for those who know that. And Ann Landers was popular, she said, because people needed to be heard. I thought, that's what I want to provide. I want to let people know they're heard, they matter, I care, I'll respond, I'll help. And I promised to teach my 4-step method real quick. Real Conversations 4-step self-help method. And that is 4 steps to get really quick from minutes, from problem to solution in minutes. And that is number 1, that you could write this down or just say it out loud to yourself, what the problem is. Number 2, your emotion or feeling underneath that. And number 3, your need underneath that. Could be physical, emotional, spiritual need. For example, the need for validation, the need for contribution, the need to learn new things. You uncover the need with that, what that is. And then number 4, you solve that need. You meet that need in a healthy way. Because every problem is really the sign of an unmet need. And if we can uncover what the need is, then we can solve that thing in a healthy way. Makes sense? It's pretty logical to me, and it's worked for people, the clients that I've taught and done sessions with, coaching and counseling sessions with. It's worked every time, miraculously fast. One fellow said, using these methods, he used to go to psychotherapy weekly for 3 years. He said, 1 session with you has got me farther than 3 years of weekly psychotherapy sessions. And that's because it goes directly to the need. That's the hidden part. A lot of therapists are not in touch even with their own feelings and needs, or understand how these are important. The feelings can tip us off to the needs that's underneath. The needs can often be hidden because as children we're told, oh, you don't need that, you don't need attention, you shouldn't need attention, you're not angry, you're not lonely. And we, as children, we learn to negate our needs, go, well, I guess I don't need that, and we learn to tune off, cut off our feelings and our needs. It's said in body mind there's 3 brains. There's the head, the intellect, then there's the heart, the feeling, and then there's the needs, which are actually in the gut level. Feeling, intuition is actually in our gut. Did you know that? That's where we know and meet our needs, in our gut. So we often, Chinese say, Western man lives from neck up. He's in his head all the time, but he's very rarely in touch with his feelings and with his needs. So that is my mission this lifetime, to teach real conversations, to be in touch with these things, our feelings and our needs, to know and meet them, and problems disappear. For example, addictions. Take any problem, but let's say addictions. I have found in my 30-some years as a body-mind therapist that addictions are really searching for a spiritual solution, or in essence searching for God, whatever that is for each person. Use different words if you want, but something greater than ourselves, that flow of life that I just mentioned. And it's really, really looking for that. When we really solve that, the addiction can disappear. Any addiction. Food, smoking, overwork, shopping, gambling, substance abuse, any of that. I'll tell you, I think we all have some of that. We all have some of that to some degree. We're all seeking to develop that deeper relationship with the divine, with something greater than ourselves, with the Creator, whatever we want to call it. So that's one of my missions. Okay, so that's the Real Conversations process. I will put a link where you can get free tools. It's worth $247, but as a gift to you, where you can get a real conversations chart with that 4 steps that I just mentioned, the 4 steps. There's a chart that lists problems, that lists emotions in case you can't identify the emotion that you're experiencing under that problem, that lists the needs in case you can't identify what you need, and lists possible solutions. So, and also it comes with a radio interview audio to help you tell how to use that chart, and then it comes with emails that help you to journal yourself through the 4 steps. So I hope this benefits you. For people who would like a little more help, there's private coaching. For people that say, well, I can't afford private coaching, there is and by the way, that's when you move the fastest, but for people who want something more affordable, I've created a group class where you can come in and get group coaching on Tuesday nights called the Real Conversations Class. So I will give you a link that contains both the free stuff and the information for the class, and you are welcome to hop on, to use these things, to enjoy them. And Shmala says, thank you, and bless your heart. Bless you guys' heart. Yes, trust the process. Yep, it's all about trust, isn't it, Carol? Very timely. It seems like we all go through this stuff regularly. We're tested on many different levels. And for me, it is so much about trusting the process. Carol, do you have a story about that or another tip? Can you say more about trusting the process to help people who are reading the comments after this live? So I'd love to hear, and Shamala too. I know you guys live this and have had a lot of experience with this. I love any tips, insights that you could, or stories that you could add to this, because people are going to be looking at this afterward. So thank you. I'm going to conclude today. I'll be back tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. And if you have a question that you'd like me to respond to tomorrow, please do that. But what I often like to do on Sundays is bring my friends in, the puppets. And because a lot of times they teach lessons in ways that people can better receive. They're kind of a fun way. So the puppets will be back tomorrow. And do you have a question that you'd like the puppets to cover? An issue, a personal growth thing that you'd like the puppets to cover? So be sure and let me know that, private message or comments down below. And I thank you for joining today. Thank you for your kindness and inspiration. Likewise, you and Shamala and everybody on here, you guys wouldn't recognize if that wasn't in you. So I'm just a mirror for you. And thank you for being on, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.